In an ever-evolving digital landscape, for your business to thrive, you must adapt or die. Welcome to Marketing in the Age of AI, the podcast helping you harness the power of AI and marketing tools to revitalize and grow your business. And now here's your host, marketing expert and author of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI, Emmanuel Rose.
Thanks for spending some time with me today. We're going to dig into some current marketing processes and maybe even look at some AI tools that you might be able to implement into your campaigns. I'm your host, Emmanuel Rose, and today I am pleased to introduce Joshua Ramsey, a seasoned entrepreneur and owner of JRCMO, as well as he has a comprehensive full-stack marketing agency with over 2 decades in the field. Joshua has engineered more than 80,000 successful marketing campaigns throughout the U.S. As a fractional CMO, an author, and sought-after speaker, he empowers executives and business owners to enhance operations, reduce costs, and strategically grow their brands. Joshua, thank you so much for spending some time with me today.
Manuel, I don't know who wrote that script, but it was probably too nice. I don't know. I don't know where that came from. I'm gonna have to go look at that.
All right. Well, it is. It's a combination of your assistant and my project manager and ChatGPT. So you've got.
Chat says it. It's got to be true, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's. You've got some good GEO going for your career. That's the good news.
Oh man. Hey man, it's good to see you again.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Appreciate you coming on again. And I'm interested to know what in the world you're working on and how you're doing it.
Yeah, man, it's been a whirlwind the last 12 months, but I will say that some of the things that have like really picked up and what I've seen in the last I guess just the last 4 months to 6 has been a massive explosion on my side. So, I'm always interested to hear what others have going on. So I think we're going to banter and chat a little bit about it. I want to hear some of what you have going as well.
For sure.
This is your time and you kind of asked me to share some stuff. So I'll jump into it because as a listener, sometimes I'm always like, okay, guys, get to it. Enough with the fluff and the filler. Like what's happening? You know what I mean? So I love that you said adapt or die, right? Like that's what it is. But I love it, man, because jumping straight to it, it's been so intriguing the last 4 or so months. My business has exploded so much. And it's interesting because I'm up about 30% on lead gen, and it's all coming from ChatGPT.
Yep.
Gemini and ChatGPT, I pulled some research details, and it said 79% of people now that do searches use a dual of ChatGPT or Gemini and Google search. Like they're using both. And
well, I guess that gets skewed a little bit though, because Google is using Gemini as the top line, right? But I heard
we don't have the data, right? And that's going to be one of the things that I talk about here in a minute. But we don't have that data. Like ChatGPT is giving it to us. Gemini's giving it to us. So we're having to live in an age of you don't freaking know.
Right.
So I'm with you on it, but I have gone around and read other data and watched other podcasts and people talking, and they're saying in the 70s that people are cross using it.
Sure.
And they're looking at Gemini, but they are also still going down into the results.
Right.
So it's interesting what's happening, but I asked people specifically on my business, the increase of 30% more people, and it's coming from the ChatGPT specifically more than Gemini. And I've run tests with audiences of people that have come and listened to me speak. And I did one test. I had 60 business owners sitting in a room, and I had all 60 pull up ChatGPT, and we did several different practices together and looked at each other's phones and had a conversation about it. And it was interesting because about a third of the room, my name showed up when we did certain searches.
All right.
And then we looked at why, and I don't know how much time we want to spend on this, but I looked at why, and I figured out some practical things that I've been doing, and I figured out where it's pulling from. So I don't know how deep you want to get into this.
Yeah,
but
let's talk about that. Whatever you're willing to share about what you're seeing for seeding or optimizing content. Let's dig into that a little, Josh.
Yeah, so I'll put this out there as the precursor, and then we can put it as the last word out as well. So for anyone that ever picks up this podcast, one thing that I do in my business and what I like to focus on is I like to educate, share. Tell people what I see, why I see it, what's going on, because I love that, and my hope and what I have also seen that I love is it sparks some relationship back to me where I get value from audience members, people that are out there that are seeing and hearing and doing the same thing. And then people always go, well, Josh, you're trying to make money somehow. Of course, who's not? But the way I approach the market is I work with business owners that are very highly educated or want to be, so they understand what I'm doing and the practicality of it and why I apply it and what I'm studying. That way our conversations become less and less, and I'm a critical part of their team of growth. So all the information that I share is free information, what I apply, why I apply it, so people can take it. And again, my hope is that, business owner out there goes, hey, I like what this guy's doing. Let's talk. That's where I go. So jumping into it, the first thing that's been the most interesting to me and that I had my team look into is, and tell me if you've seen this, Emmanuel, but the LLM.txt. Have you been adding this code to your websites or anything that you've been doing? Have you seen this?
I have, and we've been talking about it, and some of the programmers I talk to are like, it doesn't really matter, and some say, yeah, you got to do it. So, where'd you land on this, Joshua?
So Google gives a premise of like you have to do certain things to show up on the web. Then there are things that they go, we really want you to do this, and then they're like, you can do this. So what we've been doing is we've been adding the LLM TXT to all of the code that we have and all of the websites that we manage. And then we've been going back into Search Console and resubmitting and re-indexing and fixing the sites. There's other nuances that I won't go through just because I'm not going to get code geek on everybody and you and I getting into that. But just by that practicality of Google saying, here's Search Console. It's been around forever. Submit your site, get your site indexed and crawled. When I've done that, every single one of my major websites and clients that I manage directly, we have jumped. My personal site, my jrcmo.com site, we are up about 400% year over year. Like, I mean, it's one of those things that you always see these drawings of these, like, sorry if I offend somebody, but these idiot marketing guys. Right? No, I'm not you. The idiot marketing guys that get on their Instagram and they use their phone and they're like, I'm a guru. And I'm like, you know what I mean? And then they put these little graphics and you see the little line and all of a sudden it just goes like this. And they're like, I did this. I'm like, that doesn't happen very often, but I did it for myself. So I turned around and started doing it for my clients. And one of the things that I did was that TXT. When we started implementing that, it was dramatically different. There's other things that we've done within that, but I would just say right off for anyone that hears this, like, it's big. By the way, Emmanuel, I'm sending this podcast to all of my clients as well. So they're all going to be paying attention to this.
Good.
So, hi, everybody. But
so the beautiful thing about that is that you could just go to ChatGPT and say, can you help me create an LLM.txt file for my website? And then it'll write it for you.
But see, so that's the other interesting thing that I found. I'm telling a lot of people to be very cautious and careful because there's something new that I've seen and I'm calling it my own term. So I'm putting my own nomenclature on this.
Let's go.
But if you think back to the 2012 time, late 2000, like late 2000-ish, like 2007, 8, 9 to 12 to 13. Remember the SEO periodic table? I don't know if you go back that far, right? I mean, you're an old guy like me. But one of the things that they talked about was cloaking. And one of the things that I did back in 2004 through 2008 was we would cloak And for those of you that don't understand cloaking, the way I explain it is you have a white background and black text. I would create more white text to match and blend so that the crawling of Google would pull more content in the keywords, and we would stuff keywords. And then they call it keyword stuffing and cloaking, and then it became a negative, right?
Right.
But now what I see, again, using my own nomenclatures, is that ChatGPT, when you have it write content or code or other things, they're cloaking it with their code.
Uh-huh.
Now, I can't say this for sure, and I may get a phone call, and you may not hear from me again because Elon sent somebody for me. But what I believe to be true, and again, this is my last will and testament if I disappear off the face of the earth, I believe that there was some back office meetings in between Google and Elon Musk people that said, hey, we want to put good content out there. And for us to put good content out there, if people are just generating garbage from ChatGPT and then publishing it on their websites, how do we know what's legit and not? What's organic, right? Google talks about EAT, expertise, authority, trustworthiness. What is it that we're getting? So how do they do that? So what you can find now, and has been proven, without me being the person to prove it, I've seen other people prove it, that what happens is you have the cloak get put onto the code. So when you output a specific type of code and you go, hey, write me meta tags for my roofing company that I live in Dallas, Texas, and these are my pages and this is who I'm trying to target, and you build the avatar and all this other stuff, and then it writes it for you. If you take and copy and paste that, it will tell you that it's AI generated. And if it's AI generated, then it's cloaked with a code. And if you do that, then Google has already said that they're going to penalize you for it. So I have seen other clients come to me that had another agency that was doing something similar. And the business owner goes, I don't know. And then I go run a test on it. And I'm like, yep, this is why your rankings are down. This is why you're falling off. And I've seen that happen a lot. And another reason why I believe my site and my client sites have gone up is because people keep doing this. They're writing it with AI. They're putting it straight into the site. They're doing the code with AI. They're putting it straight into the site rather than cleaning it more. They're being lazy. Create it, plug and play. And it's going down, man. I don't know if you're seeing it that way, but I'm seeing it that way, 100%.
That's interesting. Yeah.
100%.
Well, I love it. So we got to be careful about how we write our code and which service we use. And I wonder if using Gemini is going to help you with your Google and your Gemini results more than using Chat or Grok.
That has slowly come out from what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is that Elon came out, I think the other day, or someone similar to that group came out and said, no, we're never going to do paid. And I'm like, never say never, man. I mean, I'm not going to get political, but Donald Trump back in the day said, I'd never be president. And here he is running president and being president,
Sure. Yeah. There's no such thing as never.
I take that. I'm like, yeah, come on, guys. I never say never. You know what I mean? If I show you, hey, here's $1 billion extra you can put in your pocket, they're going to tell me they're not going to do it. I think they're just biding their time and waiting. But I will say, back to your point, back to the main point of Gemini and Google, I have seen the correlation. I cannot draw a direct line between the two, but there's a correlation for sure in between your organic rank in Google, other search engines, your AdWords that you're doing, all connected to the LLMs. Because I run ads for myself and clients, and when I run those ads, I'm able to see some of the links in doing my own research, where I'll go in and I'll dive in. Like I have a client called Bear Iron. So it's beariron.com. Owner's name is Rogan. And we go in and I will run an AI search on Bear Iron. And when I look at Bear Iron and I run an AI search, I can find them now in ChatGPT when you ask specific questions. And I can also see a lot of times the link that supports, and I don't know how many people know this, Emmanuel, you tell me if you are hearing that people know this, but when you see the results, especially in Gemini, there's a credible link, and you click on that little link icon next to the words, and it'll open up to the side.
Yep.
and tell you the source that they found that from. Have you seen that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know how many people see that, because when I do conferences, I show them, and a lot of times it's like 30-40% of the audience is like, no, I've never even thought to look there. So
yeah, well, you and I, we spend our nights wondering about attribution, right? We think about it in the shower, we think about it, we're working out, we think about it in our dreams.
And it's hard, man. I mean, I know you brought me on just to kind of brain dump and be like, here's what I'm seeing. But man, that's so much more difficult, that now as a fractional CMO, when I am the lead CMO of companies, I'm having to a lot more go to just high tide raises all ships. Like if we're dipping, right, what did we change? If we're going up, what did we change? Like that's really all it is. Right. But it is now, I don't know who came out with it. I'll love to claim it. I'll take the claim to fame, but search everywhere optimization. Different people like to say that they created it, so I'll say the same thing. It was me, but it's search everywhere. I mean, it literally is getting on Meta. It is getting on LinkedIn. It is getting on all these different platforms. And that's where I would also say, I started off kind of on the LLM TXT. I have launched some new, I call them AI software. It's more AI focused strategy, where we go do the grunt work and we publish information through different platforms in getting the LLMs to be able to identify our brand faster. And by able to identify our brand faster, the LLMs are more likely to have us show up. Because my fractional CMO side, when people do fractional CMO into ChatGPT or similar, I'm showing up quite a bit of time. That's where my additional lead flow has come from. The way I believe that has been done is, I could probably go through 6 different bullet points, but one of them is the authority of how many times I've been interviewed by you or others on podcasts asking these questions of, what are you seeing, Josh? What are you doing? Why is it working? How is Josh Ramsey and Josh Ramsey's companies able to grow, and my clients able to grow because of what we're doing? And it's brand, it's search everywhere. It's brand, it's eat, it's the Meta, it's the link, it's the linked up, LinkedIn. So I've been putting things together instead of coming out and going, I have this AI software. I have AI software, but a lot of it's just automated to execute in a specific way, in a specific strategy to get your brand bigger. So if someone came to me and said, Josh, I have no money, I need to do something, what do I do? Be like, figure out a way to get your brand bigger, to get your brand highlighted online through digital marketing and whatever that's going to look like. And that's going to start getting you closer to where you want to be.
Well, is that a tool that is available to brands right now?
My tools and strategies are, I don't give away the secret sauce, but I definitely tell them what we're doing. And people can go research that either through my website, jrcmo.com. My media company, we've launched. You can go look at it. We're putting a new face on it, so it's rapidly changing. I just hired a president of operations 2 weeks ago, and he's jumping in, and we're going. But that program is called OneTouch.media. So instead of .com, One Touch, like ONE touch.media. And but you can also find that through jrcmo.com. But yeah, those programs are out there. There's some explanation on what they are. There's videos of me explaining the strategy on them. And I try to build it for small businesses that are trying to get up and going and don't have a huge budget. So one of my clients came to me and they go, all right, if I went all in on your AI stuff and I want to show up in ChatGPT and I want to get this stuff going, what is it? So I sat down and did the math, and $4,500 puts them every bit of it. Like, this is what it is. Like, jump in, full system. And I don't recommend that you do full system, right? Like, I think it's pick and play. I'll share this real quick because I know we're going to wrap up. But I literally saw this guy get on social media with his iPhone, and he was just like bobbing in and out. Like, his face was like in and out to the camera. He's holding his phone, and he's like self-proclaimed guru. I'd never heard of this guy. I went and looked him up, and I could barely find anything. But he's like, I'm a guru, I'm awesome, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what the heck? I got so mad. I hadn't done this before, but now I'm going to start doing it. I turned on my phone and I literally did a video and I said, everybody, stop working with these guys that get on here and say that they're a guru and they have no supporting evidence. I said, anytime you walk into a company and they sell you a package of something, you're buying that package. Start thinking about, do you need the package given to you or do you want someone to create a package for you? Because there's a big difference, right? Getting a package and sold the package or having the package created, customized for what you need. And that's the way I work, man. Like I work with people I'm like, you want to know where to go. I'm happy to tell you, you don't have to always agree, but here's why I do it. Here's why I do it. And what's your goal? What's the outcome and the KPI you're looking for? You and I spoke about that before. You know what I mean? So it's a big.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is that we've reached another period of stratification, right? Where there's so many ways to reach your ideal client in depending on your B2B and what your niche is and where that person lives and how old are they and where are they at in their career. That you can't just there's no one size fits all in marketing. It reminds me in the old days when we went from National Geographic and Sports Illustrated, and then we just stratified into every interest for magazines. Right now, so your one national spend had to get broken down into 15 into niched products. So in that respect, it's good. We're continuing to niche. From the marketing perspective, sometimes it can be overwhelming if you're not paying attention to the fundamentals of who's your ICP and where do they live and how do they consume information.
Yeah. Love it, man. Love it.
Well, it's cool. I love the work that you're doing. And I think it's awesome that you're digging deep into this search everywhere or generative engine optimization or answer engine optimization. Because obviously these LLMs and the shopping or researching is going to be happening more and more with LLMs and less with Google. And so it's a critical activity. Standard SEO practices are still supporting, but then we have to add in these other activities on top of it. So it's gotten more complicated, more expensive.
But I love what you just said, and it is more complicated, more expensive. But here's where I think people need to do better for themselves, and this is really my platform. Do better for yourself, and here's what that means to me. Don't just go blindly into an agency and have them do whatever they think they need to do, and then blindly into AI and do whatever they think you need to do. It's like build this custom box for yourself, right? Figure out what you really need and then plug into that. And I think people they're like, I don't know marketing, so I'm going to call some random marketing company and work with them. And old school, as I call it now, old school SEO works, but the new school SEO, search everywhere, works also. So there is a blend, right? Because if your reputation's already up and you have all this branding, great. Don't do as much SEO and transfer your budget over to the AI side of things of like getting found on ChatGPT type AI work. So that's where it's like I'm seeing a lot of people being frustrated in that. So I love that you said that. In the old school matters, but you still got to know the right balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think there's a couple of things, and you bring us some good points there. One is as a small business owner, you cannot do your own marketing. That's the first thing. It's you and I have been doing this for over 3 decades each, and it's hard enough for us to stay up to date on it. So that's the first thing. No more than you would do your own accounting, or you do your own marketing at this point. So you can let that go. And then when you are requesting information from agencies, actually have a framework to make an assessment of their ability to deliver. And some of it is for us, time served and how many satisfied customers you have. Yeah. What do you got, Josh?
How some SEO companies disguise laziness and hide poor strategies. In the first chapter of my book, and this is a free download. It's a free download at JRCMO. Nice. The first chapter says 5 things you must know before trusting a marketing service or service for your business or with your business. Like I literally give people 5 simple bullet points of hide it and ask them questions and have your cheat sheet over here, right? On my cheat sheet, and I'm going to ask them a question and I'm going to see if it matches. but it's logic advice. It's simple. It's fact. It's foolproof. I mean,
yeah.
I put it out there, so you're dead on with it, and that's why I'm like, that's why I put free resources out there, and you can see how young I used to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're doing a refresh,
yeah, that was before. That was before AI. That picture.
Yeah, we can't clean that up much now. I look,
Same for me. I put together the 9 questions that you ask in order to evaluate a marketing proposal, and I think the biggest mistake people make is that they go with these guys who A, don't write a lot of stuff down, and then B, have no schedule for reporting. So you actually never know what you're getting and when and how it's working. So those are the 2 most important KPIs. Is there a scope of work, and is there a reporting mechanism so that you can check on the efficacy against your KPIs?
Man, write this down if you want to, but I think you and I should do another one of these in a couple of months. And I think we should go through that right there. Like, hey, here's someone walks through and they want to know, hey, I got to go hire an ad agency. What do I need to ask them? What do I need to do? Right. And I'll bring my notes. You bring your notes. Let's ask each other and walk through. I mean, I don't know. I feel like people like that. They need that. I feel like the world needs that because there's not enough legitimate people out there that are running around and like, hey, I'm not trying to be a guru. I'm just going to tell you what I know. And here's what I know,
Yeah. No, it's good. I think we'll do that. And then also the part 2 to that one will be how do you manage your marketing company once you're up and running with them? Because I think that's always the fascinating thing is, especially the guys in the finance industry, they always want to micromanage the marketing. and they think that they could take their finance understanding and then push that into the way marketing happens, and that is always an indicator to me I'm about ready to lose them as a client.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but I mean, that would be a great one. I mean, man, my brain already goes, all right, here it all is. All right, so
we'll get that on the calendar for later this year. And Joshua, I always enjoy talking to you. You got a lot of great stuff going on. I know people can check you out at jrcmo.com and One Touch Media, and that you're really active on LinkedIn, and all those links will be in the show notes. And thank you very much for your time.
Love it, man. Thanks for having me on. Good to see you again.
All right. Good to see you. Just hang on for me while I close it out. I hope this has been valuable, a conversation for you to understand some of the intricacies of being found everywhere, or generative engine optimization. I do have a small primer on GEO, and it's either on my website, EmmanuelRose.com, or on Amazon. So you can get that. It was published last October, so it's in refresh mode itself, but the fundamentals are still in there. I also hope that you take some time today to dig into an AI tool, or try a couple AI tools and find one that you can integrate into your workflow. And with the time that you save from utilizing and leveraging AI, that you spend that time to continue to upskill, that you spend more time with your friends and family, and that you get outside into nature and get away from the screens. It's Emmanuel Rose, Marketing in the Age of AI.
Thanks for listening to Marketing in the Age of AI. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. Your copy of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI is available at Amazon.com or EmmanuelRose.com. You can also connect with Emmanuel on LinkedIn. Thanks again.